going to wrap up the final 2 tasks on our front end for the users can create an account user story, and then we will go ahead and start moving on to some of the back end tasks. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna leave the API for now, and we are going to go to our sign up page. Okay, let's look at our onSubmit function. All right. So in our onSubmit function, we are sending the data to the sign up route in the back end. So I went ahead and marked this as complete in between our videos. Okay. And then we are getting a response back, and we're console logging the response. All right. If I read this task, okay, I'm going to learn that the response is going to be a JWT, and I need to save it to local storage, and then I need to redirect the user to the project's page. Okay, so I can assume that my response.data is going to be a token. So I'm going to say const token is equal to response.data. Then I'm going to look up local storage. Local storage set item. All right, so I'm going to say local storage set item, the key, and then the value. Okay, so I will do local storage dot set item token. Okay. Now, there is some debate about using local storage or using cookies. If I have time, I will go ahead and add a video about using a cookie instead of local storage. But for now, we're going to do the make it work portion of the development process, and then we can make it better later. Okay, so we are saving the token to local storage, and then now we need to redirect users to the project page. All right, but if you look in my pages, I don't have a projects page, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. So I'm going to say projects.tsx, and then I'm going to make the component const projects is equal to this function that returns. Now I'm just going to do a filler. So I'm going to say projects page. I'm going to import box from Chakra UI, and I'm going to export my projects function so I can use it. Perfect. All right, so now I need to add the project's route to my router. So I'm going to copy the login path, and I'm going to change it to projects. And when we hit that path, I'm going to load the projects component. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a test here. And I am going to type in /projects. And yep, I see my projects page has loaded. All right. I also then want to redirect to the projects page, okay? So I'm going to look up React router on click navigate, and then I'm going to go look up the hook that I can use to do that. That is called use navigate. So I like to put all my hooks at the very top of my component. So I'm going to say const navigate is equal to use navigate from React router DOM. All right, so then now I can use navigate as a function and call it and then pass in the path I want to navigate to. So I am going to do that here. I'm going to say navigate to /projects. All right. So I'm saving a token, but if I remember, I am just returning the DTO. So I'm going to go ahead and return a fake token from the auth service. And I'm just going to do a string, and I'm going to say fake token. And I'll console log the DTO. Just in case. Okay, and then I'm going to return a fake token. So when I click sign up, it's going to send back the fake token, and I'm going to save it into my local storage, and then I'm going to navigate to projects. Okay. Often when you are at work, you are not going to be doing an entire feature solely on your own. So you might be in charge of doing the front end work, okay? So even though we aren't actually sending a token and we didn't do the work on the back end yet, we can still do the work on the front end to use that token while we're waiting for someone else, okay? So one way to do this would be to use a fake token. You could also use fake data if you're going to be like showing data on the page but the API on the back end's not set up yet. You could ask the backend developer that's doing the work, hey, can you show me what the shape of this object that's going to be returning from the API looks like, and then you can make some fake data that you can then use to play around with the front end, okay? All right, so we are going to refresh our page, and then we're going to go ahead and do our test. All right, so when I click submit, it should save a fake token in local storage, and then I should go to the projects page. Let us hope. All right, so projects page, that's good. And then let me show you how to check out your local storage. So you're going to go to the applications portion, and then you'll go to local storage, and we see that we have token, fake token. So that's awesome. And perfect. So that works as expected. Okay, so we have finished our onSubmit function finally. It sends form data to the API. Let's make sure. Yep, there's my form data being sent to the API. It saves the response JWT to local storage and redirects the user to the projects page. So I can now check that box for my task for this user story. All right, so the final piece for this front end that we're going to work on right now is to create and show a success toast for account creations. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and check out the toast section on the Chakra UI documentation. Okay, and I'm going to take a look. All right, so if I click this button, show toast, it's going to show me a toast at the bottom of the page. And this already says pretty much what we want, right? Account created, we've created your account for you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to copy this toast. All right, and you can see that they are using the use toast hook to create it. So I'm going to go up to the top of my page, and I like to use all my hooks at the very top. So I'm going to say const toast is equal to use toast. Save. All right, and then I'm going to I'm going to add my toast. Okay. 9,000 seems a little long to me, so I'm going to change it to 3,000, which would be 3 seconds. Okay, and let's give it a try, and we can edit as we see fit. So I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to go ahead and enter all my test data. And yay, we're on our projects page, and we have a beautiful account created. We created your account for you, toast. That's awesome. All right, so few notes before we end this video, okay? As you can see, we have our Axios request, okay? And then we have what we do on success. We do not yet have, though, what we should do if we have an error, okay? I like to hold off and wait until everything is ready on my back end and on my front end before I start adding the error handling. So that's what I'm going to do. But keep in mind that you should not be making requests without a catch block, okay, when you put something in production, because if this errors, we should always have the error caught, and then there should be action taken so that way your interface does not break. All right, I will see you in the next one.